So from child's pose with knees apart, big toes together, bring your arms out in front of you for a moment. Let your upper body be really heavy, the weight of the forehead down to the mat. I know many of you, like me, had a little bit of a vacation and time away last week, and yet with a heavy heart. And the fractions and war that has erupted. Always difficult to balance from so far away. And for me, one thing to do is to take care of yourself. So a couple more breaths here, really released. And then stretch the arms out now as far as you can in front. Come up to your fingertips, lift the forearms, elbows, upper arm bones to the sky. And walk both hands over towards the right side. Right into a nice side body stretch. Reach out to the left fingertips. Pull back on the left hip. Walk the hands across the center and over to the second direction. Reach out to the right fingertips, pull back on the right hip. And then walk the hands back to the middle. Come up to all fours, place the hands under the shoulders, the knees underneath the line of the hips, and do cat and cow. Anytime I'm thinking, what can I do? How can I help? I want to first put myself in a good position, clear body, clear mind, and then make one choice from there. So we'll work on the clear body, clear mind this morning. Cat and cow, just back and forth. Change to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift the hips. Bend just your right knee and press back through the left thigh down to the left heel. And then switch. Lift the left heel high, press the right heel down and back. Feel that nice connection of stretch and opening. The right heel doesn't have to come all the way to the ground. It's just the full stretch through the back of the leg. Okay, lift both heels back up towards the sky. Nice stretch through the ball of the feet as you do so. And then bend the knees down low like we're hovering in a little bear crawl. Similar to all fours, but with just a couple of inches above the ground from the knees. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then walk the feet all the way back for plank pose. Squeeze the heels together, squeeze the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly. Look a little forward rather than down. Again, hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both knees to the ground, back to your all fours. And take the right hand and left leg up, bird dog pose. Pull elbow and knee in and extend out. Do this in and out a few times. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. Lower the hand, lower the knee. Pick up the right leg and the left arm. Elbow to knee and extend. In and out. 3 and extend. For 2, extend. 1, extend. Lower the hand, lower the knee, and go back to downward facing dog. Look forward to the hands and step your right foot all the way up into your lunge. Take a few steps as needed until you're in your full stride. Knee over ankle, fingertips in line with our toes. Square off your hips. I like to stay lifted on the fingertips rather than flat down on the palms, so I get just a little bit more room, and the legs have to do the work there. Okay, take it into our revolved pose. Right hand up to the sky. So the legs should stay the same. Just a nice little twist, starting to open through front of the chest and torso. Lower the hands back down. Lower the left knee to the ground, the back leg, and then straighten the right leg. Kick the hips back so you're in that little runner stretch here. Flex the right foot, kind of pull the toes towards you. If you want to hold on to them, you can. Okay, from here, I want to swing the right leg out to the side so we get into the lateral stretch. And you either push the right foot way away from you and or sit back, butt towards your left heel, so that we're finding a stretch through the inner thigh or the groin of the right leg. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, come all the way back up to all fours. Leg goes up, back behind you, downward facing dog. Kind of a little bit of a round the world stretch in the legs to get us going, if you will. So left foot steps forward into your long, low lunge. And then add the revolved, left hand high. I had the pleasure of skiing a few days last week, and I'll tell you, this revolved lunge, so simple, so helpful, loosening up the IT bands again. Left hand comes down, set the right knee down, and then stretch through the hamstrings. So flip the hips back, stretch the left leg straight, pull the left toes towards you. Okay, we're going to take it into the lateral stretch. So the left leg goes out to the side. And if you need to flip your body to use the long length of your yoga mat, depending on your space, do so. And then I like to sit my butt back towards the heel to get into that depth of stretch. I'm keeping the left foot flat on the floor with the toes pointed straight towards the top edge of my yoga mat. Okay, and then we'll come back up again, finding all fours, downward facing dog. Look in between your hands, Step or jump to the top edge of the mat. Come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Full Uttanasana as you're standing forward fold. And stand up and reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Okay, after that bit of warm up and movement, take a few steady breaths here, perhaps setting that intention. As I mentioned, clear body, clear mind. If you have another layer to that intention, give it a few breaths now. Sun salutation A, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower flat down to the mat. Baby cobra, so press down through the hands and peel the chest, maybe just halfway of what you normally would. Still feels nice. And then downward facing dog, change back. Couple of breaths here. Look in between your hands, step, jump, walk to the front of the mat. Half lift, forward fold. Stand, arms to the sky, and palms to the center of the chest. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Plank position. Down. Cobra, a little higher peel this time. Downward facing dog. Look in between the hands and step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Again, palms to the chest. 2 breaths. Adding a bit more to the flow here. Start with Utkatasana, your chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs, extend the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank, go through the flow again. Anytime all of this chaturanga through cobra gets a little taxing too much, stay in plank instead. Because then here we're always back to downward facing dog. Okay, adding on, lift your right leg up into the air, 3-legged dog. Pull the knee to the chest, hover for a moment. Find the strength, press down through your thumb, your first finger. Really round the back like you do in cat pose. Stay, stay, stay. And then step it through. Spin the back heel down, come up, warrior 1. Arms to the sky, chest still forward over the front leg. Good. Bend the right knee a little bit deeper, and at the same time, press through your back foot. Let's open it up to warrior 2, so to the side of the mat. Stack the shoulders over the line of the hips and give it another moment to sit low into the front thigh. Change the side angle, just elbow to knee, left arm palm down overhead. Look down at the right foot. One more here, it's half moon. I'm going to take the left hand to the waist for a moment so that through the adjustment, it's just in the legs. Heel toe the back foot closer in, and then place the right hand down, lift the left leg to your balance. Left hand can go back up to the sky. And really that back lifted foot, let it lead. So lift the leg a little higher than you think to, all the way out through the heel. The heel can widen more out to the side to give you plenty of room through low back. Bend the standing leg as much, as little as you'd like to allow for the hamstrings. Okay, from here, can you take it back into warrior two? So slowly let it go down. Step way back as you do so. Lift the torso, rise up, arms to either direction again. Full warrior two. Reverse warrior for one breath. Lift the right hand high. And cartwheel down around the front foot. Plank pose. Down to the mat. Cobra, now as high as you want. Downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee to the chest, hover forward. Stay right there for a moment. Find security in the strength. And then step it through. Warrior one. Spin the back heel down with the back toes turned in a lot. Come upright, arms to the sky. Square the hips, the shoulders as much as we can towards the front of the mat. Good. One more breath. Open it up to warrior two. Fiddle through the back leg. Toes point more straight towards the long edge of the mat. And then elbow to knee, top arm, palm down overhead. Really reach through that top arm. Nice side body stretch. Looking good there. Half moon pose. Look down so we know where we're going. Walk the back foot closer until the weight can come onto the front leg. A little bit of a launch of ourselves. Left hand, left foot stays down. Right leg up, right arm up. Try to make the right leg as straight as you can. And again, think foot higher rather than lower. It's a funny thing, but I think it gets easier when the foot actually gets higher. And then remember, you're aiming for warrior two to come out of this transition. Lower the right leg, try to step it way back. And then lift the torso. Nicely done. Left hand high, reverse warrior, one breath. And then circle your way down around the front foot, through plank, to the mat. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. A few breaths right here. Thighs back, heels down, big stretch through the arms. Okay, look in between the hands. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Stand all the way up. Bring palms together, center of the chest. Take it in, a couple of breaths. Okay, release the arms down by your side. Take a steady gaze in front of you, something that won't move or change. Quick balance series. Stand on your left leg, pull your right knee up and into your chest. Wrap the hands to the front of the shin and pull the leg up a little bit higher. This month, the mantra is playing in the field of possibilities. Progressive poses work really well with that. It's like, what if I played with the next step? What if I play with the next step? Take the hands under the thigh and play there for a moment. Not always about advancing a posture, making things harder, if you will, but just checking it out. How's this one compared to the last? Good. Stretch the right leg as straight as you can, still holding underneath that thigh. And then try to meet the chest down to the leg. So folding the upper body down towards the lifted leg. And then how about playing with hands behind the foot? Maybe, maybe not. Give it a try. Does it help to bend that standing leg just a little bit? Feel free. Rebend the right knee. Release the foot down to the ground. Mountain pose for a breath. Regroup. And then the second leg, pull the left knee up into your chest. This should be your second side. I'm not going to try to mirror us right now. Hold the front of the shin first. Get that nice big hug. And then change, hands under the thigh. Keeping the hip flexor in flexion there. A little bit of a tongue twister. And then extend the left leg straight out in front. Now bring the chest down towards the thigh. And try walking the hands to hold on to the foot. Again, if you need to bend that standing leg, bend it a lot. Give yourself the relief. And then slowly walk yourself back out. Bend the left knee, set the foot down. Mountain pose. Okay, lift the arms up to the sky. Forward fold. Downward facing dog, step back. Same thing, but adding the balance of side plank. Balance on your left hand. Turn to the outer edge of the left foot. At first, stack the feet. Get your balance with stacked feet. Lift the right arm up to the sky. Put the picture in your mind, what we just did in that standing balance, and pull your right knee up into your chest. Hold the front of the shin. And skip the under the thigh and go right for your foot. Can you hold on to your foot? And you're going to shoot the foot straight out towards the long edge of your mat, not towards the sky, towards the long edge of your mat. And then if you want to change it up to the sky, lift the foot. Set everything back down and go back to downward facing dog. For me, there's a different ask in the shoulders from shooting the foot straight out versus up. So I don't usually like the change in between the two. It's either one or the other. You can keep that in mind as you're playing with things. Right hand outer edge of the right foot, stack first. Left arm to the sky. And then pull your left knee into your chest, and the hands trying to find the front of the shin, and either staying there or playing with the change to hold on to the foot, and then shoot the foot straight out towards that long edge of your mat. For me, it's a huge IT band stretch, that outer hip towards outer shin. Maybe change it up to the sky if you want. Go back to your regular side plank and downward facing dog. From here, lower the knees down, give yourself a break. Child's pose. Press it back. Release. Okay, come back to all fours. Slide your left knee just a tiny bit forward so there's room for you to wrap your right knee behind. Cow face or Gurdasana. Feet stay wide and sit back in between your feet. The left knee will pop up somewhat. Keep it down as much as it works. And today we're adding a simple twist to this. We're not doing the upper body piece of cow face. So with the left knee on top, take the right arm, forearm across the thigh. Left hand can go behind you for a bit of an anchoring and twist. Untwist and do what you can to fold forward. If you tend to have a lot of room there, you might even be able to fold as far as down to the forearms. I was doing this in my home practice yesterday and I got there. It's not going to happen this morning. So it's remembering that some days there's more in the tank than others. Different poses work in different ways. I know you can take that into your off the mat metaphors as well. Do what you can. Okay. And then we're going to shift back to all fours. So I'm just going to roll back over onto the knees, unwind. A little bit of a shake through the hips. Good. And then it should be the right knee that comes just slightly forward towards the hands. Wrap the left knee behind and to the other side. Again, feet wide enough, knees as much together as we can keep them, and sit back. If you like to work with a yoga block and sit on the block there for a little bit of ease, that one's a good spot for it. Okay, left forearm goes across the right thigh, right hand behind your back. Sit up nice and tall, twist. And then untwist and try to fold forward over the legs. Okay, as you lift the torso, this time just lean back so that you can untwine your legs in front of you. Straight legs, flex the feet, toes straight up to the sky. Dandasana, staff pose. And again, playing in the field of possibilities. We take the hands to the shins, mid-shin, and still try to keep a long, full spine, like past the toes. If that works, walk the hands as far as towards the ankles. Still a nice long spine here. It's like closing the angle from 90 degrees, inching more and more acute. And then hold on to your feet as far as you can reach and fold the upper body over. Nice even rounding of the spine as you fold deeper in. Walk the hands back towards the line of the waist. Inhale and lift the torso straight up. From here, downward facing dog. So you can transition there however you want. I'm gonna lift the heels up, do the cross of the legs, and like a pretty quick little transition jump through. Downward facing dog. One more deep series for the legs. And then we come towards our rest. Lift the right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip, point the knee up towards the sky. Just one huge hip circle. Bring the knee down, almost brushing against the mat, out, around, and back up to the sky, and re-straighten the leg. Reach, reach, reach. Step the foot all the way through into your lunge. Lift the right hand high into revolved lunge. Downward dog lunge. Place the back heel down. Circle the hands to the left side. And then walk the hands right against the inside of the right leg. Spin the left heel back up to the sky and set the left knee down to the mat. Go as low as you can. Hands or forearms here, forearm lunge. Still point the right knee, right toes straight ahead. Squeeze the right knee close to the right shoulder. Walk back up to the hands and change to pigeon pose. Right knee to the right wrist. Walk the left foot back, go back to the forearms. Now let your body fall onto that right hip. Bend the left knee and pull it close to the front foot. Mermaid pose, one version of mermaid pose. Place the right hand behind you, lift the hips up, stretch to the front side of the body. Extend the left arm. Set the hips back down. Manage your way to plank pose, cobra, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg high, three-legged dog. Make the leg straight, and then bend the knee, open the hip, pause for a breath. Okay, now that one gigantic circle, knee down, gracing just above the mat, and then out and around, up to the sky, and as you do that, straighten the leg again. Step it all the way through into your low lunge. Left hand high, revolved lunge. Down dog lunge, hands to the inside, spin the right heel down. Energy is broad towards the side of the mat here. Really good. Walk the hands back in around the front foot, pick up the back heel, set the right knee down to the mat, and go lower, forearm lunge or humble warrior, I like to call this one. Now if you need to give yourself some more space, heel toe the left foot more out to the side. But for today, I'd ask left knee, toes still point straight ahead. And then walk back up to the hands, lift the back knee to trade into pigeon pose. Pull the heel towards the chest, and then set left knee down, right leg down. Go back to the forearms. From here, we let our weight fall towards the left side. Might pull the left heel out a little bit as you pull the right knee closer in. It's this S or Z sit through the legs. Lean back onto the left hand, lift the hips. We're looking for a full stretch through the front side of the body here. Open up the hip flexor. And as you release down, carefully shift back to plank pose. To the mat, cobra, and one more downward facing dog. Clear body, clear mind. Full breath. Think of how you transitioned here to downward facing dog from that seated position a moment before. We're going to go back to that same seated position. So you can transfer the same way or play in the field of possibilities, get there a different way. Make a little jumping action this time. And you're back to Dandasana, straight legs, palms right beside you, lifted chest. Fold over, hold onto your feet or the mat. Seated forward fold is Paschimottanasana, one of my favorites. Friends, from here, I want to change to a straddle position. Take the long edge of your mat for more space. Extend the legs into a big straddle. Still flex the feet, point the toes straight up. Knees up as well. Most of us will have a tendency to want to turn in or out. So only take the feet as wide apart as you can keep those knees and toes straight up to the sky. All right, and then we can walk our hands right through the center. Kind of like the line from child's pose that we start with, and we walk the hands towards either side. I want you to envision that from the straddle. Today, walk the hands over towards the right leg. And then you can play here. Hands can stay the inside, split the leg. You want to open up to sort of a rainbow stretch there as well. And then walk the hands back to the middle and on over to the other side. And again, you get to add your own flair. I think for most ease, really, it is forearms staying or hands staying to the inside of the leg, a deeper hamstring stretch. While hitting the inner thigh of the opposite leg would be to stay folded down and over. Get the upper body way more involved. Shoulders, chest, take it through the rainbow. And finally, walk it back to the center. Find a released fold here, so not over trying, just kind of where do you fall in right now? Yogis, any last bits of movement, please take it here. If you'd like a additional twist or like to lie down onto your back, this is the time. Get all those last little wiggles out. And then find your way into your final pose of relaxation or meditation. If you're in a place to close your eyes, close your eyes. Continue to tend to your own well-being. A few more deep breaths here. If you're lying back, take your time to come back to a seated position. Allowing the intention of this practice to float into the next piece of your day. We do that through singing the sound Om together. You're welcome to sing along with me, to listen, or to tune it out. Release the breath. Take a deep breath in. I bow to deeply honor ourselves, each other, this practice. Namaste. Okay, thank